Hello YouTube. This was a very spontaneous live broadcast. The sun just came out and I felt I haven't done one in a few days, so thought why not? Let's take a little walk around this area here in southern Tokyo. We are close to Futako-Tamagawa station, which is close to my home. Great to see two of my loyal fans already watching this. Hello Laura and Susan, thanks for always stopping by. So I am planning to go to one of my favorite little green spaces, which is the Todoroki Valley. I've uploaded a video from there before, but not many people watch that, so maybe you don't know about it. But it's a very nice little ravine, actually the only ravine in Tokyo. It's not hot, it's very comfortable today, like 25 degrees maybe, and not very humid. So perfect weather right now. For Rakuten, which is one of the bigger IT companies here in Japan. They're kind of like the Japanese equivalent to Amazon, basically doing anything related to IT, from online shopping to travel websites and mobile operator and whatnot. Actually wanted to switch to Rakuten's mobile plan because they're the only one I know of right now in Japan that offers unlimited data. But just because my residence permit expires in like 3 months from now, they turned down my application and told me to apply again once I've renewed my residence permit. So that was a bit of a bummer. i5 build only, where does my profit come from? Right now it's not much of a profit, but I do earn a tiny little bit of money through YouTube, but otherwise I mainly work as a photographer and journalist. But last couple of months has been very quiet for pretty obvious reasons, I guess. Susan, is it difficult to find a low-level office job in Tokyo? Not if you can speak the language. There's actually a big demand of co-workers right now because Japan has a very complicated demographic situation with basically not enough people being born to offset the people who are dying. And then at the same time, they are very reluctant to open up for more immigration. So there's a big need of people here. But basically, yeah, you need to sort out the job before coming to Japan. But if you already live here then and speak the language, then I think it's just finding any job is not very difficult. Finding a good one might be a bit more tricky. Yeah, it's a bit windy. Sorry, I hope it's not too distracting. I will move to smaller, more denser streets soon, so hopefully that will make the wind situation a little bit better. The wind is loud. Sorry about that. Oh, hello Pim. Good to see you again. right now it is blue. Let's see if I can find a little bit more sheltered location to keep doing this. Looks nice and hello. Privet from Siberia. Privet. That means what? Thanks? Hey, the Hawaiiank. I don't really know how to pronounce your name. The Hawaiiank. Beautiful day there. Yeah, actually, it was super gray and gloomy all day. I was planning to go, or I did go into the central city to shoot some videos, but it was so gray, so I went back home, and as soon as I got off the train, then of course the sun comes out. These are pretty new high-rise residential buildings, very popular. Like this entire area has the prices here went up a lot after they finished this big redevelopment of the station area. What area is this? It is Futako-Tamagawa in the southern part of Tokyo, just on the border to Kawasaki and Kanagawa prefecture. It's mostly a residential neighborhood, but there are more and more offices popping up around here as well. It's Hawaiian Sea. Okay, Hawaiian Sea. I hope I pronounced that right now. Smooth video today, no lag. Great. Yeah, I think the lag is mostly if I do it around peak hours, which is like 6 to 8 p.m. Then it gets very choppy. And it's the same like if I'm browsing around that time, my internet connection gets very slow. But yeah. What are the panels with photos of people and numbers? I think that's probably the one for the governmental election. There was an election here recently, last weekend, I think. So that's probably what you saw. Like they introduce all the candidates on those posters. Such a beautiful day it is, right? It's really nice now. It's still rainy season and most days are just gray and gloomy, but then as soon as the sun pops out, then everything gets so nice. And it's still not too hot, so now I am in more, as you can see, more residential neighborhoods. Like around here it's mostly smaller one-family homes. Or actually not small ones. These ones are massive by Japanese standards. So this is a very wealthy part of town actually. Yeah, I think this time of the day that people are still working, so not many people are using their phones right now. Probably why it's so smooth. How much does rent cost in this area? Well, it depends, but if you want to live like in this tower over there, I would say maybe smaller apartment. Like the ones in that tower are pretty big in general, but a small one, which would be like 40 to 50 square meters, would probably cost like 200 to 300,000 yen a month, which is roughly 2,000 to 3,000 US dollars. So yeah, that's That's pretty steep, I guess. Oh, the houses? I don't know, you can't really rent a house like this, I think. You probably have to buy one. But yeah, probably if you would find a house for rent around here, it would be quite expensive, because like I said, it's a pretty good neighborhood, quiet and peaceful, yet relatively central. Like it's just 15 minutes on the train to Shibuya from here. So yeah. My setup for this stream, it's my phone, which is a Oneplus 7, and I'm also using a DJI Osmo Mobile gimbal to make it steady. That's it, pretty simple stuff. I'm walking near your house, really? We must be neighbors then, because I live around here as well. Also do tour guide? Yes, I do actually. Not like your average tour, but I do. So I do a lot of photo sessions with tourists here, like portraits of couples and newlyweds who are visiting Japan. And one thing that I also offer is like a full day photo tour. So it's like people can hire me for a full day and I show them around Tokyo, and I also take their portraits. So in that sense, yes. But I only work with like private individual people. I don't really like big groups. So yeah. Oh, thanks. I'll buy me some tea. How much for a full day tour? For a full day tour, including also photo session and portraits, I charge 120,000 yen. So yeah, it depends a little bit on the content and for many hours it is, but full day, which is 8 hours and 1 hour lunch break, it's usually around that. Haven't done any of those in a long time though, because there's no tourists coming to Japan right now, so that's hitting my wallet pretty badly. Do you ever show your face on the live streams? Not here, not yet. Let's keep it at that. I have many plans for this channel, but so far and right now I prefer to keep it relatively anonymous. But definitely, as this channel is growing and I get so much positive feedback from a lot of people, I understand that a lot of you are curious about who I am as well. And so, I mean, I have revealed a little bit in some of the chats and live streams I've done before. And I plan to be a little bit more personal in the live streams that I do with my Patreon supporters. So if you're really eager to know, I would recommend that you become a supporter there, and you will be the first one to get to know me a little more personal. Susan, can you read Japanese? Somewhat. I mean, yeah, I would say I can. I'm maybe my reading skills are like 9 or 10-year-old. So, you know, basic stuff I can read without any big issues. But if you would hand me like the economics section of a daily newspaper, it would be a bit of a struggle. But I mean, I do work a lot with Japanese clients as well, and usually when I do that, all the communications is entirely in Japanese and the emailing as well. So as long as it's not too complicated things, then I do it by myself, but sometimes I have to ask my wife to help me out. How many years does it take to learn Japanese? I would say if you're going to a full-time language school, I would recommend at least 1.5 years, but ideally 2 years to get to a level where it's actually good enough. Yeah, it's a small little river here. I think it's just a tiny little canal. Then the big Tama River is a couple of 100 meters this way. There's a few walkers and you are the best one. Oh, thank you very much. I'm very happy to hear that. What makes you think so? Why am I better than the other ones? Just interesting to know, and also, knowing what my audience likes is how I can improve things and get even better. So what's the biggest difference between Japan and China, in my opinion? Well, I mean, they're entirely different. Those countries don't really have much in common, I would say. It's completely different political landscape. People's manners and behavior is radically different. The culture is entirely different. So, yeah, not much to compare, I would say. Is it hard to make friends with your language fluency? No, I wouldn't say so, but I don't think it was difficult to make friends even when I didn't speak any Japanese either. In fact, back then when I first came here, I was younger and crazier and went out a lot, and then I made tons of friends very easily. These days I don't really go out much. And I think being in a situation where alcohol is involved, that usually makes it easier to meet new people. So yeah, it's very easy to make friends here in general if you're an outgoing type of person, even if you don't speak the language, because a lot of Japanese people speak English. So and even those who don't, they usually do their best to kind of communicate with you. So yeah. How much does it cost to buy a house in Tokyo? It really depends on where and how big the house is, but if you can buy like a old house in the outskirts of Tokyo for next to nothing. But if you want something like this in this location, then you have to pay a small fortune. So yeah, it really depends. But on average, I would, or like in this part of town, you would probably have to pay around each yen, which is what, 100 million yen, maybe, for something decent, because this is a pretty expensive area, and that's probably on the low end as well. Have you ever met the guy from Only in Japan? No, I haven't. I noticed my camera is a little bit, the angle is a bit slanted. I'm not sure if I can correct that. Hope it's not too annoying. You're better than some YouTubers because you're less self-centered. Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough people doing that already, and that's not really what I'm striving to do. I just want to kind of help people and provide content that is either just relaxing or helpful in some way. Like, yeah, there's enough people just promoting themselves online these days, and I find it quite like not so interesting really. What microphone do you use? Right now it's just a built-in microphone on the phone that I'm streaming from, but usually I use a Zoom H1N, which is a tiny little microphone that I use together with a DJI Osmo Pocket to record my walking videos. Last question. I've heard vending machines in Tokyo are super cool. Do a walk and explore them. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, they're not that interesting to me. I think that's probably something that you should ask the Only in Japan guy to do. That's the kind of content that he seems to enjoy making. It's not really. I mean, I'm not so fond of these kind of Japan is so crazy and so special and so weird. Like it is maybe, but I've lived here so long and I'm kind of used to everything now, so I don't really get excited about those things. Sorry. Video in Shinjuku. No, this is a live video from Setagaya. You're asking about the video in Shinjuku. Yes, that's a voiceover. I recorded a video quite a long time ago, but the voice just a few days ago. Let's see if I can wave to the camera. Hey. Face reveal. At least half of my face, but in very low resolution and choppy frame rates, and in a stream that will be deleted as soon as it's over, so consider yourself lucky. Yeah, purely residential. Yes, this entire walk will be pretty much like this. It's there's nothing really exciting or interesting other than the place I'm actually walking to, which is this little park down in a ravine, which is quite beautiful. Is there a main library there? Not sure, to be honest. There's one on the other side of the river. There's a small local library, but there's no like big main Tokyo library or anything, unfortunately, at least not as far as I know. And that's something I miss, actually. Back in Sweden we have really good public libraries. Here in Japan, like, the public libraries are often very old and not very interesting in terms of that they only have like Japanese language books. Like in Sweden we have like lots of magazines and like movies and those kind of things as well, but here in Japan they feel a little bit older and boring, unfortunately. Explore location. At least you're honest. You're a real dude. You got a new subscriber. Oh, thank you very much. Nice area to ride a bicycle. Absolutely. I bike a lot actually around here. From a tourist perspective, Tokyo and Beijing is not that different. Yeah, I guess so. Depends, I guess, which aspect you are considering, but yeah. I actually lived in Shanghai for about half a year. That's like 12 years ago now. But so my experience living in China is very different than living in Japan from my perspective. But that's a very complex subject, and I don't want to waste the entire stream talking about China. Is the area flood free? No, actually the big river, not this one, but there's another big one. It got severely flooded last year actually, and some buildings not too far from here got damaged. Here is actually a small shrine. Let's go and take a look at it. This shrine is actually, or no, it's not a shrine, it's a temple. And it's actually kind of quirky, like they have all these massive, somewhat odd statues that aren't really like what you would usually find at many temples here. Tokyo has insane underground water basins and channels. It does. They've done a lot to prevent flooding, but the floods last year proved that it's not actually enough. And it seems like these flooding and rain disasters are just getting more and more common these years because of global warming. So I think Japan needs to step up their flood prevention game. Look at this tree. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting temple. I need to read up about it and figure out what place it actually is and why it's so different. It's almost 5 in the evening, soon people will return from work and streets will be crowded. Yeah, that is true, that is correct. Fortunately, I'm so close to my place, so I can just walk from here, so I don't need to take the rush hour train. Yeah, you stumble across a lot of interesting and sometimes weird things in this country. That's part of the enjoyment of actually living here. It rarely gets boring. I appreciate your videos. It's relaxing. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every one of you, my dear viewers. It's so much fun to do this and to be able to connect with people in this way. It's really, yeah, I really enjoy it. Like I started posting regularly on my channel just like a month ago, and it has really grown since then. And now it's like I often see the same names popping up in the live chat or at my live streams, and that's really great. I hope there's some way to make it a little bit more two-way communications in the future, because now it feels like it's just me showing you what I'm up to, but it would be great to see what some of you are up to as well. "4 a.m. in New York City." Thanks for getting up so early. You watch from your office in Sangenjayana. Nice. Are you allowed to watch YouTube on work hours? Another live stream. Yes, aloha. Hawaii. I really want to go there. I was there like 2.5 years ago. It was so nice. Crave a trip out of Japan. I mean, it's funny, like most of you probably sit there and like dream about coming here to Japan, but for me, it's like I'm kind of stuck here because I'm not allowed to come back. If I leave the country, they won't let me in again. So I can't go anywhere right now. So yeah, that's a bit frustrating. I was planning to do a Europe trip this summer actually and visit my family back home and travel around a bit, but yeah, that didn't happen. So let's see. So the annoying thing is now I'm using my phone to stream, but I need to check Google Maps because I'm a little bit lost. But well, whatever. We'll see if I find the place I was planning to go. Otherwise, I guess, just walking around on these streets is quite interesting to you as well. So, yeah, 5 p.m. chimes. Yeah, we can trade places. That would be great. That would be great. I want to go to some nice beaches and just relax in the sun. But I guess I could do that here in Japan as well. But it's just something about going to a different country every now and then. Getting lost in Japan is an adventure. Indeed it is. Just traveling to a new train station where you haven't been before is a bit of an adventure. That's a pretty big house they're building here. Getting caught in a maze, yeah. Japanese residential neighborhoods are usually like a maze. Narrow streets and they're all like dead ends every here and there. But let's see, maybe, do I know where we are now? Yes, I think I might know where we are now. Love the quietness. Yeah, me too. That's also one of the good things about living here, that once you leave the busy commercial areas, it's just so quiet and peaceful everywhere. That's really nice. Considering that it's the biggest city in the world, that's pretty impressive. So, just out of curiosity, how many of you watching right now actually live in Japan? I am thinking about maybe organizing some kind of event here in the city, but I'm planning to do that once the travel ban has lifted and once tourism starts picking up again. But if there's enough people who actually already live here, I don't have to wait. So yeah, let me know if you live in Tokyo and if that's something you would be interested in joining. Then if enough people are, then I will set something up. You live here, yes, J Japan. J Japan, is that what you call it? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Anyone else? I think I am getting close to the Todoroki Valley. from Chiba. Well, that's close enough. Used to, sadly. Now I just swing by every 1.5 year. Where do you live now, Pim? Is it Netherlands? Uesugi, live in India but wish you were in Tokyo right now. Hopefully you can come soon. I would love to go to the Netherlands right now though. Summer in Europe is just awesome. I think the place I want to go is behind these houses here. Just need to find the entrance. Nice weather, yeah, very nice. History teacher with tenure, yeah, I see. Then your flexibility is maybe somewhat limited. Okay, I think this might be the place. Maybe at night it will rain again. Yeah, probably. Raining like everywhere in this country right now, except in Tokyo. Yay, I found it. It is down here. Let's hope it's not too dark. What month in 2020 do you expect travel to Japan possible again? I don't know if I expect travel to be possible again in 2020, to be honest. Maybe in somewhat limited scope, but I think Japan will be very reluctant to lift this entry ban, and they certainly won't do it as long as this pandemic is still growing in other parts of the world. So right now, I still think we're just, in the beginning. Sorry, it got disconnected, but now I'm back here again. So I found the Todoroki Valley. This is one of my favorite little hidden spots in Tokyo. It is actually a proper ravine, and it has just been left. Maybe you can be our tour guide next time we're visiting Japan. Yeah, I would love to. I would absolutely love to. As soon as things start picking up again with travel, I will post more information about how people can actually get in touch with me if you want to set up a tour or something. Because I really love showing people around, and I've been living in this country for 12 years now, and I actually work a lot with the domestic travel industry as well. So I would say I have pretty good knowledge about not just Tokyo, but also other parts of the country. So look at this. This is gorgeous. This is real time. This is a real-time live stream. Will you visit the Olympics? Probably not, unless someone hires me to go there and take photos or write about it. But personally, I have zero interest in sports, and I think it will just be a very overcrowded mess, and I have no interest in experiencing that unless I have to. Yeah, I also think it's a human rights violation that it actually, covers everyone. Like, I have my entire life here, including a apartment and all my work and my wife and everything. But still, if I leave the country, I will not be let back in. That's really not okay. But what can I do about it? And it's no one here. Like, this is incredible. This place is usually, I mean, I wouldn't say crowded, but I've never been here and seen this empty. It's just lovely. Are you planning to go to your home country for Christmas? If I can, yes. Thanks for telling people to hit the like button. I'm not forcing anyone to do that, but yeah, if you want to support me and if you want to show your appreciation, then sure, go ahead. But if you think this channel sucks, then you shouldn't press it. Where are you from originally? I'm from Sweden. I have an entire video where I talk a little bit more about who I am and what I do here, so you can check it out. It should be quite easy to find on my channel. Come visit Romania. Yeah, I would love to. I mean, my dream is to, in the future, be able to do these kind of videos from all over the world, not just from Japan. And also step up the production values a little bit and make it maybe have a proper cameraman rather than shooting everything myself would be nice. But also because I think places gets more interesting if you have fresh eyes to see them, rather than now I just feel that I'm kind of stuck here in Japan and I'm a little bit grumpy and whiny about it. So I'm probably not, promoting the country and this place in the best way possible. Walking in the EU too, yeah. I mean, I love Italy. Like that's a place that has a very special place in my heart. Used to travel there every summer when I was a child. So once I can travel again, that's probably the first country I'll go visit and just shoot a ton of videos from there. Do you find Rick Steves annoying? No, not really. I actually like him. I mean, he's a bit, how should I say? I mean, he's very American, which is both in good ways and bad ways. But in general, I think he does a pretty good job, and I think he's quite charming. Come visit India after the pandemic. Yeah, I would love to visit India as well. I've really been wanting to go there for a long time now, but I haven't really had a chance. Very American, yeah. But he does a very good job, I think, in educating people about the cultural differences in other countries and also the similarities. And he also has a pretty, laid back, nuanced style that I kind of find quite attractive. Natur i Sverige är också mycket vacker, absolut. Det är jättevacker. Jag saknar svensk natur jättemycket. Alltså om jag kunde så skulle jag ju tillbringa sommaren där. Det brukar jag göra varje år, men ja. So I just said in Swedish that I think the nature in Sweden is very beautiful as well, and if I could, I would love to spend most of the summer there, which is what I normally do, but I can't. You American then? No, I'm not. I'm Swedish. Where is this exactly? This is the Todoroki Ravine in the southern part of Tokyo, close to the border to Kanagawa prefecture. Is it true that Japanese women like European men very much because they treat women better? I have no idea. I think there's a lot of different preferences among Japanese women. Hej från Norge! Hej hej! I just sound stupid if I try to speak Norwegian, but actually Norway is one of my absolute favorite countries on earth. I would love to move there one day. Especially the northern parts of the country are just so beautiful. It's crazy how beautiful it is, and it's such a contrast to Japan where it's so crowded everywhere, and then going to Scandinavia where it's so quiet and peaceful. That's really something I appreciate. Do I want to travel to Seoul? Absolutely. I love Seoul as well. That's also one of my favorite cities. I've been many times. Last time was about a year ago, and I definitely plan to go there as soon as I can. Swedish and Dutch sound somewhat similar. I know. When I hear Dutch, it sounds like I should understand what this person is saying, but I understand nothing of it. But my brain thinks it's something that it should be compatible with. Is it easy to learn Japanese? No, it's very difficult. Probably one of the most difficult languages to learn if you're a Westerner. Yeah, that's what your brain does as well. Yeah, I mean, you watched the live stream the other night when I had my Dutch friend with me, right? And whenever I hear him on the phone talking Dutch, it's just so frustrating. I get some sort of short circuit in my brain. Yeah, Afrikaans is pretty similar to Dutch, right? What do you think of Hokkaido? Hokkaido is also beautiful. I've been there twice. First time was about 10 years ago, and second time was like 3 years ago. And both times in the summer. And it's really, really beautiful. And actually the landscapes there sometimes remind me of Scandinavia. I guess it's a similar kind of fauna up there. So some of the trees are the same as we have back home, whereas the trees here in Tokyo are very different and much more tropical. So that makes it feel very different. Well, the first time you reach Japan, you will say, wow, this is a fantasy world. Yeah, kind of. It's, I mean, the first time I came here for like the first week or so, I was just amazed by everything. And I was just walking around, looking at all the big buildings, and my jaw was on the ground, and I was very confused and jet lagged, and I loved every moment of it. But then as you live here longer and longer, things just get normal, and I mean, it's still a nice place. I definitely still enjoy living here, but yeah. When you lived in a place for 10 years, it's just not so exotic and exciting to you anymore. Could you tell us a Swedish greeting? Yeah, hey. That's the only greeting you need. You can use it anytime to anyone for basically any reason. Hey. Or you can say it twice. Hey, hey. Can mean goodbye, can mean good morning, can mean hello, can mean anything. Why are so few disabled people in your videos? Too many, sir. I think so, yeah. I don't think Japan is very kind to disabled people. and it's very difficult to get around, especially the central parts of the city if you're having a disability. So that's probably why. So the ravine basically ends here, and I've been streaming for almost an hour now. Wow. I really wish I had that unlimited data plan. If it's true that Haruki Murakami is more popular in the West than here in Japan, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, in the West, he's become like this kind of very hyped and very popular author, especially for people who are into Japan in general. But here in Japan, I rarely meet Japanese people who are very like fond of him, or you know, he doesn't really seem to have the same almost cult status here in Japan as he does back in Scandinavia. Could you visit Nishikoyama station and walk? Yeah, absolutely. I was actually planning to do a walk there in Nishikoyama. That's the place with the very long Shotengai, right? I will go there sometime. So now we are back in the urban setting again. Even though this is also a pretty quiet and laid-back residential neighborhood. I'd like to sit down and share a coffee now. Yeah, I am thinking about grabbing coffee somewhere actually. Yep, nice contrast, right? Back into the urban environment. But yeah, I guess I will wrap things up here, and thanks a lot to everyone who watched this. Almost 200 people, which isn't bad for a very spontaneous live stream like this. It's really so much fun to know that I can just switch on the camera at any time and have like hundreds of people who want to take a walk with me. That's very nice. If you want to support my high data charges to do these live streams, please consider supporting me through Patreon. That would be nice. If you think that I deserve some support, of course. But yeah, I guess that's it for now. And thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye. Hey.